Yo, what's good, famo? It's your boy CMB, the ambassador. I'm popping in out of hibernation just to say what's up and everything. We're going to talk live on Open Mic Night with my peoples, man. Get your people in the house. Let's go. What's up, famo? It's your boy CMB, the ambassador. It is August 21st, 2021. What's good? We are in the house going live for the first time in a long time for Open Mic Night. What's good, man? I got my Mr. BK, the apologist, the BK apologist himself in the building. I got Mr. MJ Jackson, the professor, in the building. What's good, fellas? Introduce yourself to the people. What's up?
Yeah, what's going on? Part of people, the place to be. I go by the name of the BK apologist, transmitting all the way live. New York is the city, Brooklyn is the borough. What's good? What's poppin'?
Yes, sir. MJ, tell the people who you are, brother.
I am the Southern assassin. No, just kidding. But,
Wow,
just
that's gonna stick. That's gonna stick.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Adam Coleman gave me that. Thank you, Adam.
All right.
But no, just MJ Jackson hitting it up with on a Saturday night when I'm caught up on my homework, kind of, sort of, a little bit. You know.
There you go. All right. Yeah, man. MJ, what kind of homework you getting caught up on, brother?
Well, I was finishing up pretty much my last class. It was biblical leadership, so I had to put together a mission and strategic plan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm gonna actually use it, but so I'm kind of killing several birds with one stone. Anything that I do for class, I always try to turn around and use it in my ministry.
All right.
Like for the next class, I'll be doing a major writing project on is social justice biblical. And of course, everybody, most of y'all know that I had that debate back in March. I took that debate because I used pretty much my presentation pretty much as an outline for the major writing project that I'm gonna have. So, like I said, I try to use whatever I do for school also for ministry. And so, that way I don't grow my hair gray too quick.
That's what's up, man. Excellent scholarship at its finest, bro. Mr. BK, aren't you in school too or something like that? What's going on with you, bro?
I am. I'm taking some course with Michael Heiser and his Awakening School of Theology. Also pray for Mr. Heiser as he battles cancer. But yeah, I'm up to my third semester, and right now we are looking at apologetics through the lens of the Old Testament.
Excellent, man. You mean to tell me there's doing apologetics in the Old Testament? What?
Yes, there's definitely apologetics in the Old Testament.
Nice. That's good, man. Yeah, we just out here just wilding out, bro, having a good time. Feel free to jump in the chat if it's if you are friendly and not doing
if you're friendly.
Yeah.
Listen, let's keep it a buck though, CMB.
What's up?
You're going live because you're feeling a lot of Jamaican pride right now. All right, let's keep it a buck.
Right.
Let's keep it a buck, bro.
And Canadian pride too. What you talking about, bro?
Okay, look at that. Double the pride. Double the pride.
Double the
look
pride. Right.
Look at that.
Yeah, man. So as some of you know, track and field, man, it's a national sport in the great nation of Jamaica. So shout out to my heritage. You know what I'm saying? And today we had the Prefontaine Classic in Eugene, Oregon. And my goodness, what should have happened. The race anyway that the world was looking for 100-meter finals for the women. That was particularly exciting. Sha'Carri Richardson coming through, finally being able to test herself against the great Elaine Thompson-Herah and Mommy Rocket, we call her, Pocket Rocket, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, who's been doing great things on great stages for a very long time. And today I saw some things. I'm not gonna be bashing Sha'Carri for her finish, but my goodness, we're gonna talk a little bit about that today. Tell me what you thought. I'm gonna look at the results real quick, but tell me what y'all thought if y'all seen it. My man, Ancient Context in Detroit. What's good, man? Welcome.
Well,
You're muted, bro. I don't know if you can.
Chris, you muted, Chris.
he
Can't hear you,
must be
bro.
on his phone.
Okay, I can hear you now.
There
I was
you
There
trying
go.
you
to
go.
I was trying to figure out my own volume situation because
Got you.
I'm in this hotel room. Had to
All
find a quiet corner to hide in.
right. Got you. Can you hear us all right though?
Oh yeah, you guys are crystal clear. Even
All
though
right,
I don't
perfect.
have my headphones. My headphones died, and I left my charger at home. I didn't realize it.
Oh
Uh-oh.
wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, we just started talking off about the Prefontaine Classic today. Particularly the women's 100 final. Did you get to see it, Chris?
I did not get to see it. Me and my wife went to we went to the mountains and on a hike,
Oh, bet.
a 10-mile hike today. I had zero cell phone signal for like 6 hours, which is what it took us roughly to travel to and walk this 10 miles. It was
It's
crazy.
a 10-mile
So I
hike like it
missed it,
was
but I
nothing.
did see the results and see that she came in with like seventh or eighth place or something like that.
Oh yeah, she got ninth. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'll say this: she shut it down in the middle of the race. I'm not gonna bash her or anything at the moment. I just want to get your thoughts initially, and hear what y'all think about it. MJ, you get to see it. BK, what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad, bro. It was bad. I mean, I don't know if she underestimated. I don't know if maybe her regimen was off. Maybe she's not mentally there yet because of the passing of her, relative,
Mhm.
or maybe it's a combination of all of that. You know,
Yeah,
the thing I get, and me and you was talking behind the scenes. The thing that I think that was most disparaging though is that you could tell she quit midway.
yeah,
I think she
yeah.
realized she was, it was a mismatch at that moment, and she just decided to turn it off and call it a night right there. So
Hmm. Yes. What about you, MJ?
Yeah, you can't quit like that. Um, I mean, it's an excellent growing opportunity for her. Hopefully, she'll grow from it.
Hmm.
The thing about it is, sometimes sometimes in America you think that things are going to be handed over. You think people are going to roll over sometimes just because of your hype.
Mm.
But if you've been watching these Olympics for like the last decade and a half, when it comes to that track and field, the measuring stick is those doggone Jamaicans.
those darn
Like
yachties.
Yeah, man.
I like Shikari. I like her
Mhm.
fire, all that
Yeah.
good stuff. But um, once again, the measuring stick, the measuring rod is those doggone Jamaicans. And sixth place is great, but the woman who's number 2 all time is alive.
Right.
And I don't want to hear about no sixth place. And you shouldn't be satisfied with it either, young lady.
And the one that beat her actually beat her own time from the Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's
She has
true.
the
That's true.
second biggest record in the history of the sport. If she did it in that heat right there.
Yep. Yep. And again, that's my thing, man. I saw the race. I was watching it. And I was looking forward to it too myself. But I was doing some research behind the scenes myself, and I know that. What's good, Mr. Phil Fox? What's up, Keisha B? Listen, Keisha B is my homegirl from way back in the day. I'm not gonna tell you how old Keisha B is, but we're
Wow. How you did
she,
this, dude? Crazy.
that's my homegirl from way back in the day. So Keisha B, she's much love to you, my dear sister. Hopefully we'll be seeing a little bit more with Keisha B in the near future as
Right.
well too. She's a great sister in Christ. I love you to pieces, my dear. Been down since day one, so much love to you. I see Mr. Phil Fox as well too. Nate 2D2, the great D2D2. Mod of the month every month. Mr. Green is in the building. What's good, my brother?
Green.
Green. Yes, sir. And Miss Titus too. Shout out to you, my dear sister. She was holding it down with Brother Veda earlier today. Much love to you. But yeah, so during the race, man, they had her in between Elaine and Shelly Ann Fraser Price. They had her in between. Like, bro, I don't know if y'all know about pressure, but that is pressure. That is pressure. And like I said, I'm old and fat now, but I used to run track back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And I used to play football and stuff like that too, bro. And if you are on the track and it's just you, and what's up, Rick? Welcome, brother. But yeah, it's if you know and you know someone's fast right next to you, you will get, if you're not if your head's not in the game, you're gonna get out the game. And what I mean by that is this: every track and field runner will have, especially a sprinter, you have very small increments of time that you have to execute your game plan. You understand what I'm saying? And if you start off too fast, too slow, and you're not executing your game plan, you're gonna get off your game, and you're gonna try and run someone else's race, right? Someone's talking about, well, she's short and blah 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 blah. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I'm not a tall guy either. But back in many years and many pounds ago, I was pretty fast. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that you have to know your race, right? She's actually taller, believe it or not. She's only 5'1", but her listed height is actually taller than Shelly Ann Fraser Price. So it ain't about height. It's about skill and executing it in that time, in that in those moments, right? Because like I said, the difference between first and third or fourth, right, getting off the podium, it can be tenths or hundredths of a second. So you have to execute, right? So I saw some stuff I wouldn't that was rough, man. She looked like she tried to keep up with Shelly Ann's drive, and Elaine came from the back and just she ran her race like she's supposed to. That's why she a champ, you know. So I was
and she a grown woman.
Yes, indeed.
Look, these are veterans, you know.
Yes.
Like, we look at a young Kobe Bryant when he went up against Michael Jordan early in his career. You know, he was going at him, but Kobe was trying to learn. Right. You know, Kobe was trying to, you know, see what he could borrow. Like, I mean, it was understood that Michael Jordan was the great one. Okay. The lady who won is 29 years old. That's a grown woman.
Mm.
Okay, that is a grown woman. You know, and she and the whole team are veterans. That's why I said that's why I said that they are the measuring stick. They were veterans. They were not new to this. This was not the biggest stage for them.
No,
not at all.
But what I liked about them, and I listened to their interviews at the end, they take a blue collar approach to the game. Keep your head down. Don't get caught up in anybody's hype, and be ready to work.
Now, they took it serious, because for her to actually beat her time from the Olympics, it proves she took this very serious. She wasn't on cruise control at all. And maybe she wanted, to throw some extra salt to, the homegirl's ways. Like, because, she was talking. She was talking like, man, if I was there, son, yeah, like, word.
All
right. Well, the lady who won said no comment. I don't want to talk about it.
Right. And that was both classy and shady at the same time.
You're irrelevant. You came in 9th place. I'm sorry. But Young Buck.
Oh my God.
If you Young Buck, you got to put in
you
some
want to
more
romp
work.
with me? You want to romp with me?
She said. You said she sounded like Ox.
I kill people for fun. That's what you wanted to say. Come test me now.
I kill you.
Like you got Brother Garfield talking mad trash on Facebook.
Rightfully so, my God.
Rightfully so. I can't stand it.
Doing it,
rightfully so.
You people are doing it, yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that's the thing, though. I'm like, okay, so you saw the commercial before, like, the race, right? Right before the race. I want to know
what I've been waiting. Yeah, it was huge.
And click with the nails and all this stuff. And oh boy, that's all I can. That's all I was thinking when I was watching this. It was like, this is not going to turn out too good. I was expecting 4th, maybe 3rd. But my goodness, like, it wasn't good at all.
Well, this was a cautionary tale on how beneficial and practical humility can be.
Listen,
right?
talk about it, Doc.
Because if he was like, listen, I'm going to try my best, I'm going to work hard, and if this would have happened anyway, you're like, well, it is what it is. But because she was talking and
Hmm.
she was so flamboyant, it makes this worse to the point where she quit midway, and now she bowed out from the whole tournament now. So it's like,
Right. I want to ask y'all. So y'all know, everyone knows Usain Bolt, right? Everybody knows Usain Bolt.
yes,
And when he was running at
My
his
dude.
Olympic best, right, in Beijing and in Rio, right, he was like, I mean, he was still accelerating towards the end when he ran his world record time in the 100 and the 200. Like he was like, it was amazing, right? Yeah, you see that picture with him and Andre DeGrasse. Shout out to him who won the 100 from Toronto. So boop boop, right? So so he you see the picture that sees him, like he's kind of smiling, talking to him, like, "Oh, you did a good job. You almost got me that time, right?" And it's kind of like a meme now or anything like that.
mm-mm.
But he wasn't always Usain Bolt like we know Usain Bolt,
Mhm.
right? He used to catch L's, in Jamaica, right?
Mm.
He like, if you see like some of his older training videos and stuff like that, some of the national championships and so forth like that, before he broke out, right? He wasn't doing the things that we saw him doing at his greatest, right? And I think that's one of the things that you have to learn by taking those L's, right?
Right,
So
right.
Shikari, today, I really wish she would have went really hard and saw what she could do on that stage with all the jitters. Go back to the tape, see where you messed up. You know what? I popped my head up at 15 meters. I should have kept it down for another 5-10 meters, and I would have been able to keep my drive and kept going, or whatever the case was, and then it can turn it on, or whatever the case is, as she kept going. And my goodness, you learn from those kinds of lessons, right? You can't just stop and be like, this is trash. I'm done. My head ain't in the game, and they was messing with me before, and all my haters. And bro, you don't have haters yet. You ain't done nothing yet, sis.
You haven't.
Right? I mean, like, just, oh my goodness, bro.
That
You
that
haven't.
that's this generation now.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
generation, like me and BK was talking the other day. Was it yesterday? We was talking
Yeah,
about how rappers are today,
yeah.
and then earlier today, when I got home, they had this concert that's going on in New York, and they introduced this young rapper, and he rapping over a track. I mean, he rapping over his, not just the track, the instrumental. He actually rapping over the song where it's
With the
playing, and
vocals, right?
yeah, the vocals, and it's like, why? And you, I remember you was talking about that during the locks and
Dipset,
what, right?
right.
Yeah, when they was doing their verses, and it's like, why do people do that? And these guys today, man, they just got they feel like the world on their shoulders, and they haven't accomplished anything. Then when they fail, they feel embarrassed, and it's like, why feel embarrassed? That's just a part of life, man. It's part of life.
Well, what she needed, right? Someone needs to sit her down, and someone needs to read her Hebrews 12, verse 1.
Okay, go
Therefore,
ahead.
since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us.
Mhm.
Whatever she's entangled with, whatever's hindering her, she needs to let that go. And of course, for us as believers, you know, from a spiritual aspect, it's the same thing, right?
Right.
Because we have a race that's marked out for us. We're not running someone else's race. If someone's racing at a certain pace, so what? We have our own race marked out for us, and we need to be focused on that.
Mhm.
And it's very interesting how the Hebrew writer is using a sports analogy, right,
Right.
to convey a spiritual principle, and
Mhm.
that's all I'm going to say.
Right. That's all you really can say at this point. Because it was, oh my goodness. And like I said, and you can see the defeat. I don't know, man. Like, if have you like have any of you guys like been involved in like sports, or
Oh
because I know you
yeah.
rap, like I said, BK, right? But if you guys
Yeah.
have played at that, and like Chris, you swam, right? You know,
Oh yeah, I was
so like
captain of the swim team.
competitively.
I was a
right?
bad man in my day.
The Black Steel.
Michael Phelps, lucky I got out the game before he got
Wow.
in.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Hey,
Look,
I'm not on YouTube or Facebook, so I can't see in the comments. Is the apologist in Columbus in the comments?
No.
Okay,
Who's that?
Delegate
Is
Flower.
that wifey?
Just making sure, because Delegate Flower stood me up. Y'all see this empty chair right here? Delegate
Nah.
Flower was supposed to be sitting there. When we got back from visiting us when we got back from our hike earlier, and she never showed up at all. So I'm gonna put her on blast.
Ooh.
Although I
All
love
right.
her, that's my sister.
let me tell you something. We down in Texas, we loved going. Basketball games were off the chain too.
Sure.
Football games and track meets, man. And you talking
That's
about trash? You talking about
That's
trash talking at them track meets? Don't get
Bruh.
smoked.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get smoked, because you ain't never ever gonna forget about it. In Texas, Shakara is from Texas,
Right.
and she ain't never ever gonna forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
And people won't let her forget about
No.
it.
I hope that she uses it and becomes better from it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I hope so too. I really do.
But she checked out, bro. Like you said, something happened mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And you just gotta stay humble, man. You look, them doggone Jamaicans are the measuring stick. You can't look, you can't just come up in there and think. I mean, the woman who's number 2 is still alive. That's what I was telling my wife.
Right.
I don't want to hear about no number 6. Can't nobody take that away from you. I mean, what is it?
6 wouldn't get you on the podium, sis. You know.
It's nice.
Oh man, they don't make copper medals, man. You got
Somebody needs to tell Shikari.
Wow, really, bro? That's what we doing? That's what we
Is not
doing now.
human flourishing.
If you're not
man.
first, you're last.
Right.
Like Ricky Bobby say.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I mean, like that's what I was saying earlier, man. You gotta learn from this stuff. You have to take these L's, and they're growing pains. And listen, I don't know anybody on the professional level, right? And remember, this is if they're going to Diamond League time now, right? So it's like auto racing, right? It's like auto racing. It's like what other in the decathlon, right? So you don't have to win every single event, right, in order to get a higher ranking and become an overall champion. You can actually become 4th in every single race, and as long as the same people don't keep winning, you keep accumulating points, right? And you can actually become a Diamond League champion like that, right? So you have to finish the race, and you have to be here with it, even if it doesn't look like you're going to win. Right, because sooner or later someone might come up with an injury. Sooner or later, I think Elaine has a toe problem. I know Shelly-Ann Fraser Price had a toe problem a couple of seasons ago. She had to pull out and wasn't able to complete the season, if I'm not mistaken, or she wasn't at her top form. But that's where the training and the mentality come in. But I also want to date myself a little bit, man. Since we talk about basketball, MJ, anybody remember Nick Anderson from the Orlando Magic?
Oh yeah.
Okay, y'all remember what happened with him, right? Playoff game, right? The Magic supposed to win. They're up by however many, 4 points or 5 points or whatever it was, right? All he had to do was make a free throw, right? One free throw. This guy gets 4 chances and breaks every last one of them, right? It never was the same again. I was living in Florida around that time, 92-ish or whatever the case is, right? We saw a lot of Magic games. So when Shaq came in as a rookie, we saw all that. When
that was
right?
Shaq, Penny Hardaway,
yes, sir.
Anderson, and
yes, sir.
And that was when they got
Scott
from the Bulls.
Scott Skiles, all them cats were playing, right?
Yeah, and then they had the guy from the Bulls. Is that when Horace Grant came over?
Yes,
and that was when Horace Grant came over. Yeah,
right. So Horace Grant came later. After the third championship, I think.
Okay.
Right? The Bulls, yeah. But yeah, it was around that same time. You know what I'm saying? And and he never recovered after missing those shots. And Nick Anderson could ball. I don't care what y'all say. Like, he's not like a top 10 player, but this man could ball, right? He's a walking bucket. And when he got that stuff in his head and he couldn't recover like that, bro, he wasn't the same. He just was not the same. Y'all know MMA, right? Ronda Rousey, right? She's rowdy Ronda Rousey. Nobody can touch her until she got that left right in her temple. It was over, son.
Look,
ain't been the same since.
When you get broke, you get broke. They broke that girl, but
Yes,
like
indeed.
I said, what she has to do if she want to bounce back from this, she got to understand that them doggone Jamaicans are grown. You was running against.
If it wasn't for those meddling Jamaicans,
you was running against a grown woman today.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, when people play LeBron James, that's a man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
You ain't about to come up in there,
That reminds me of that Mike Tyson quote. Everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face.
Till you get punched in the face.
Till you get punched in the face.
Look, like I said, she was in between them. Yeah. You ain't got time to look over and then stop.
Right.
Look, like I said, them doggone Jamaicans were grown women who they took their L's. They have took their thumps. They have battled through injuries and things like that. Look, if you're not, and I believe that she can bounce back, but sometimes you got to learn to shut the hell up.
Yeah, it was bad, bro. She got smoked. They beat the brakes off of her. I'm sorry.
You're like, hey, look, they got me. I got work to do.
Right.
That would have been the best thing that could have been said. I got a lot of work to do. Shout out to them. Their reputation. They're worthy of their reputation. They are the measuring sticks of track. It's just a fact.
Right. Yeah, but I mean that's the thing though. It's like, like I said, I was saying, you have to be able to take that L so you can watch your tape and get better, right? You have to be able to do that. You have to be able to take coaching. You have to be able to one of the guys earlier, the 200, right? What's the brother's name? The one, the 200, the American cat. Can't remember his name right off rip, but he was talking about it in his interview that he had a sports psychologist, right? And he was able to talk himself through the losses and the missteps and all that kind of stuff earlier. So he was mentally ready. If you ain't mentally ready, boy, that's it. That is it. And again, in a game like this, like running, sprinting, you have milliseconds to make decisions, right? Milliseconds. And if you don't do it right, or if you give up, or they got me, I can't pull back. Okay, that's it. You can't take it back. You can't unring the bell. Yeah, and that's one thing about also her age too. She's 21, right? And so these especially Shelly Ann Fraser Price. I don't know if y'all remember who Merlene Ottey was. They call her the Silver Queen. She won like silver medals throughout the Olympic Games. I think she started in 92, and then through the early 2000s, I want to say she won silver medals a lot. She couldn't quite get over the hump, and that was okay. That was her skill level. And I mean, who else can run? Very few people can make that claim to run to 100 meters at an Olympic level and get a silver medal. But Shelly Ann Fraser Price was running back then. So not in the 80s, but in the late 90s and so forth. So as Merlene was almost like a passing the baton, so to speak. So as she was running and she got, a little bit older, then Shelly Ann kind of came into her own. Shelly Ann is 34, I think, something like that. So she has almost a full decade and a half on Sha'Carri, as far as her age and experience. That's a lot. Right? She got a lot of miles, but she can run. So all those little mistakes that she's making early in her career, she doesn't make them now, right? Because she learned from them. And I'm hoping and praying that Sha'Carri Richardson will learn how to learn from her mistakes that she's making now early in her career, but she can't quit in the middle of the race. That's all I'm saying about that.
Right.
So, yes. Ooh, Mr. Phil Fox says this too.
Hold on. I'm a little slow. Yeah. Excuse me. So yeah. Shelly Ann was the lady who kind of photobombed her.
Yes.
Hold up.
It looks like she was gonna say, hey, good luck or whatever the case was, and then she saw she was heard about her haters, whatever. Like, okay.
One thing. I'm not trying to rub it in. I'm really not. But look, the lady who won was 29.
Mm-hmm.
And Shelly 34.
34.
Like I'll be 35 this year. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel old. She look, somebody in there. Look, leave them doggone Jamaicans alone. They could be 40 and smoke you. You remember how we used to race folks outside in our shoes with no shoes on?
Yeah.
And socks.
That's when you was serious about racing. Like when you was fed up and you really wanted to run, you took your shoes off.
Man, it's a bad feeling.
Right.
It's a bad feeling to get smoked by somebody that much older than you. You think you have a chance to get them. Nah, man. You got to put some respect on them women. Those are athletes. Those are trained, disciplined athletes. She's 34 years old, still smoking youngsters.
Killing them.
Killing them.
Yeah.
I rolled you up today. Literally.
Yep.
No pun
I want to
intended.
put Shadi's comment up here. She says, Mr. Phil Fox, good point. Tiger Woods was plagued with injury too, and he actually made it to the pinnacle and then declined. That's right. Here's one of the things I would say about Tiger Woods. So, for my career, I work as in healthcare, right? I'm a physical therapist and stuff. So one of the things that irritated me about Tiger Woods that he came back way too early from his first back surgery. Like entirely too early. When I saw that he was coming back from back surgery, like you're bent over a ball and you're twisting. And the best way to injure your back is to bend and twist. Like, like that's probably the worst thing that you can do. And you have to be extremely careful when you're doing your thing, right? And my goodness, that's one of those things that just, it just concerned me. And sure enough, he never got his swing back the way it was before, Like, I mean, I'll never drive a ball like Tiger Woods. I'll never, I got a driving range up the street from my house, and I haven't been there in a while, and I probably still got a wicked slice. I don't know, probably. But at the same time, I know that your back has to be in amazing shape. And unfortunately for him, he came back way too soon. You start declining, and then the stuff with the wife and the cheating and oh man, that was all bad.
Yeah.
You thought he was gonna be the first $1 billion athlete, and I think who beat him first, I don't even know. But but that was all bad, bro. Tiger fell off hard. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Green, I tell you, running barefoot. Back in my day, when we had church socials, you know what I mean, after church in the basement, well, always was a relay race. That was the last event. So you imagine all these old West Indian people running around in their church socks and running barefoot and trying to get a grip on the basement floor, trying to run around the basement, man, Toronto West. So, good times, man. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. Other comments. Let's see. Yes. This young lady is facing what many newbies face when they hit the streets. We've seen it with so many athletes in their rookie years. Absolutely, Shadi Mills.
It kind of reminds me of like in basketball, right? A lot of times cats will look at dudes that don't get a lot of playing time. In their mind, they think I could be homie. I'm like, he's in the NBA for a reason.
Yes.
He's like he's godlike in your world. Right. Even though he's in the bench in the NBA, he's God in your world. Like you can't see that dude.
Right. So you know who does that? Brian Scalabrine. Have you seen him?
he had a whole series, right? He goes and just beat up on dudes, right? Amateur cats.
Yep. Because people talk about, he's slow, boy, can't play, he's soft. Okay. He's in the NBA and they're paying him hundreds of thousands of dollars to practice. How about that?
Run up on him at 24-hour fitness and see how many threes he lights you up with.
Pull up in the rucker, leave you on donuts.
You want to, right?
You know what I mean? Leave you on donuts. So.
Oh man.
Nah, I mean to be on that stage. I mean we're messing with homegirl, but for her to be even on that stage, like she's just she's amazing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just she was dealing with people who are vastly more amazing than she was that today, but still, and we're gonna see if she becomes legendary if she does bounce back from this, because that would be a great story.
No, this is a good story.
Yeah.
Let me just say this real quick, and let me give her some credit, just a little bit. In the last interview that she did, her tone did change a little bit. you know, she did apologize for some of the language that she used, and she did change her tone just a little bit. But you gotta respect your opponent.
Yeah.
And one way you respect your opponent is look. It's like if the woman is already ahead of you on the all-time list, man, acknowledge that. Acknowledge it. Don't go up in there and basically say you're gonna crap on all these women. No, no.
Oh man, Shiny Bills is killing me right now.
It's like you dealing. You dealing with the SEC of track and field. Man. That's what you're dealing with. Sorry, Big Ten folk, but you're dealing with the SEC of track.
This is going from your college Heisman winner to the NFL.
Right.
It's a different world.
Different. It's just different.
What happened today? Remind me of what Alabama did to Ohio State.
That's facts. That's facts. I'm not an Ohio State fan, so you can bash them all you want, right?
Oh, okay.
if Chris Featherstone here beat the hell out of him.
Yeah, he did. It wasn't even close.
It wasn't even close. Beat the brakes off of him.
So NJ, so you're saying that we should respect the people we debate on YouTube and everything too? We should respect those opponents.
Look, let me just say this.
My turn to be messy.
Let's not get hasty here.
Hold on. If they are an experienced debater and things like that, I think that they should be respected as being, rhetoricians and things like that. Rhetoric, rhetorically speaking. Yeah, I respect them. I mean, because you know what you're dealing with when you're dealing with side this crowd. They don't understand. I'm just being. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to belittle anybody.
Hey, listen. Just go easy, bro. I don't want to. I'm just.
I got you. I'm just saying.
There is no go easy. There is no go easy.
I'm gonna bring it back down. But look, Adam was trying to get them just to understand the concept of a worldview and things like that.
Right.
And it's and so you gotta take the edge and the wind out of the sails on the rhetoric. I mean, they should be respected in that sense. But in terms of the truth, I mean, you don't have to be cocky, but I mean, we do have the truth. Period.
Right.
I mean, that's a fact. But they are to be respected.
Right.
Not trying to get you bring no unwanted heat on your channel. Unless you're ready to go there.
I ain't scared of that. Come on, man.
Oh, he gets heat. This is Mr. Stomp on SDA man over here. We talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He likes the
heat. I have no idea who you mean.
Right. Okay.
I'm a delicate flower.
Yeah, but what about
you're a delicate flower too?
What about trash talking?
I mean, it depends with who you're doing it with. Like if it's like amongst us and we're in the court, and we're talking trash to one another, it's all love, right? It doesn't really matter, And as long as people understand that that's just what it is, we're just having fun, I don't see a problem with it. Personally.
Yeah. I think and trash talking does have its place, like, even in like apologetic circles and things of that nature. And like, we talk about that all the time. And we were talking, I think it was offline here just a few minutes before we got started, about like how, Jesus says to, go tell that fox Herod,
right.
Or whatever the case is, or John the Baptist called people a den of vipers,
right.
and a brood of vipers and all this kind of stuff. There is much to be gleaned from that, right? I'm not saying that's the go-to, right? And for the sake of just, I'm gonna beat you down for the sake of beating you down, so I'm a man. That's nonsense, right? That's nonsense, right?
Thank you.
For us to be like, yeah, no, this is the facts, and here's where where you're wrong. You're actually wrong about this. Let's talk about it, right? Yeah, that's the thing, and we have the right mindset and the right spirit about it. Of letting people know the gospel. That is the most important thing. By far.
All pro Stanford graduate. All pro. Y'all know who I'm talking. I'm talking Richard Sherman. All pro Stanford graduate. Now, look, I don't see nothing wrong. Now, Mayweather, he'll cuss you out too. Okay, I get it. But I don't see anything wrong with the man saying that, hey, I am the best. I have won every one of my matches. Uh, People watch my matches. Don't nobody pull a crowd like my matches. It's a fact.
Those are all facts.
Right, yeah.
Those are all facts.
Those are all facts. Now, Mr. Religious Christians who don't watch sports, stay the hell up off my timeline.
Oh, man. Man. He's doing so good. He's doing so good.
We here at the do not necessarily the opinion is here on open mic.
He's doing so well.
Oh man, y'all wild,
He's
bro.
doing so well. He's doing so well.
Oh my goodness. Yes. No,
But but listen.
Listen.
The Bible does trash talk, right? But
yes.
But to make theological points.
Yes.
It's not trash talk just for trash talking's sake. Case in point, the Song of the Sea.
Yeah.
In Exodus. You can't tell me Miriam wasn't talking her talk.
Speaking of which, I'm going to have a shameless plug here. Mr. BK, right, had an amazing, a sermon at the church that he attends, and he broke it down. Listen, y'all need to go on Mr. BK Apologist channel, catch that sermon, Song of the Sea. Carry on, brother. Go ahead.
Thank you. Nah, but I mean, but even though she's celebrating the defeat of Baal and all that, but there's deep theological underpinnings within the trash talking.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just trash talking for the sake of, it's like, no, there's a point that we're trying to prove in this song. But while we're proving this point, we're laughing at you at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to get this work.
You're going to get this work. Yeah.
All right, real quick. Shotty Mills asked the question: do y'all think the response to her failed drug test at Sha'Carri contributed to this? I'd say yes, to a point. I think that people were wanting to see, because Sha'Carri Richardson was the U.S. champ, right? In the women's 100 meters. So you want your best to go against the best in the world and compete, and not only compete but dominate. That's typically what has been. You can go back to 1984, right? With Carl Lewis killing them in the 100 and long jump, right? You got Flojo killing them, right? In the 100 and 200, killing it. Her record, I don't think it will be beaten. Her in the 100. I do not know if it's going to be beaten ever. I'm a biggest Elaine Thompson hurrah fan that you can have. Any Canadians, Jamaicans, whoever, I'm rooting for them. But at that stage, I don't know if Flojo's record is ever going to be defeated. I don't know if Usain Bolt's record is ever going to be defeated. But even still, right? You have to know that everybody wants a good story. And I was telling the brothers in the chat here that the issue is a good story will sell you a lot of products. Right. Let's not forget what this is about. This is going to be about sponsorship and some money. Nike wants their money. They're putting however millions of dollars it took to get her on camera and to pay them people to do her makeup and everything else like that. They want to sell you some shoes. They want to sell you some gear. They want to sell you something. And I hope and pray that she can come up with some good performances so that she can not only cement her own legacy as a great runner, but also because Nike needs to make the money back. They hurt for nothing for sure, but everybody wants a good story though. Brothers, what do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, we do want a good story. The problem is, right, good stories come from coming back from negative experiences.
Yeah.
That we always appreciate the person who comes back from behind. The person that gets up wants to get knocked down, but you have to get knocked down first.
Right.
You have to get knocked. You got to have that defeat, so that when that person does gain victory, it's all the more fulfilling because of where they came from.
I agree. Yeah.
So a good story costs. It costs you to have a good story.
How many times did Michael Jordan lose to the Pistons and the Celtics? You know what I'm saying? They didn't exactly roll over for Michael. Matter of fact, they were fouling the devil out of Michael. It was
clotheslining him in the paint.
Look, they were clotheslining. But I mean, people look at the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe and think that they just was good. I mean, how many times did they lose to the Jazz and the Spurs? Like how many times did Dale Harris got fired and who was the other guy? I forgot the other coach that they had. And then it finally clicked. But you gotta take your lumps and keep working.
Yeah.
Like Kobe was a hard worker. Nobody was going to outwork Kobe. Only person probably outworked Kobe was Michael Jordan. But Kobe had a measuring stick to measure himself up to, and it was about appreciating the greatness that was there. And you know what you don't do, you don't talk trash, especially somebody you haven't beat, especially somebody that is alive and number two. You respect that person for the work that they put in, and you only hope and pray that you can achieve what they achieve. Ask them what their workout regimen is, what their routine is. You know, you don't see these women on Instagram. You don't see none of that stuff.
No,
it's train.
And that's the kind of thing, like, because I followed Shelly Ann Fraser Price for a while now on Facebook, right? She doesn't run her own social media page, right? And most athletes that are smart won't run their own social media page. They're gonna have a team that does that, right? The reason being they have a job to do. They're not gonna sit here going back and forth jaw jacking on Twitter. That's dumb, right? And that'll lose you sponsors quicker than you can blink, right? If you're not careful, right? So that kind of thing right here, and I think Smith's comment here kind of puts it in perspective. Let's pray for her. Her circle failed her at trials and did not have her ready for this week. That is 100% accurate, bro. You know, and that's one of the things that we have to recognize, because, like I said, I'm not mad that she had she had to find a way to cope with losing her biological mom. My thing is, like, you know, your team needs, if she needs to withdraw from trials, from the U.S. trials at that point in time, if she needed to, that's one thing, or because she would have missed that Olympics for sure, right? Or you sit with her, you stay up with her, you cry with her, you know, you talk her off the ledge, you get her to talk to somebody, and you don't go out and say, you know, let me get this ounce for you, girl, because you need to. No. That's the last thing you do. That's the last thing you do.
Shit.
You know, and I'm not mad, because you're gonna have. I can't imagine what it's gonna be like to lose a parent, like, you know, Alfredo, you know about that. Yes. You know what I'm saying? To lose somebody that you love like that. My mom, it's her birthday tomorrow, and God bless her. So shout out to mommy. Hey, mommy, happy birthday early. You know, and that's one of those things that, you know, we have to, sooner or later we might lose our parents. You know what I mean? And I can't imagine what that's going to be like. I don't want to imagine what that's going to be like. So that pain, and when you're trying to do a job like this where you have to stay focused, but at the same time you can't lose and allow yourself to the team can't allow you to be weak and to follow in that sense. You know what I mean? You can grieve, you can cry, you can do all that stuff, but you can't sabotage your career. You know? So that's what I want to say about that. Let's see. Yeah. That's good. All right. Yeah, man. This is good, fellas. What y'all think, man? Anything else popping up that you want to talk to that won't get us fired? We don't have sponsors, by the way, so I say what I want to say.
Because if we did, they'd be gone by now.
That's right. Like Open Mic Nite is brought to you by.
I like sports. I like talking sports.
Here we go.
I think trash talk is good for sports.
That's right.
Look, when you hear all them fans chant SEC, you know what they're saying to the Big 12, to the Big 10, to people like Chris Featherstone, and
wow, really?
To people like
apologetic beef now.
To people like apologists in Detroit.
Wow.
cheering for Michigan. You know what they're saying? You're too slow, and all the speed and good football players is down here in the South, baby. That's what it's about. And all the fast track folk are in Jamaica.
50 years from now, when they look back in the UA, it's like, when did it go down, left? When did it went left? They're going to say this stream right here. This is the stream where everything just fell apart.
Yep.
Shorty said we're too secular. Wow.
Oh man,
yeah. I mean, I like sports. I like Malcolm X. I like black radicals. What's up?
Wow, this dude just really, this guy, he really wants to hurt your channel. I don't know what did you do to him? Like, he's like,
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I thought we were cool, man. I thought
since
we were boys,
we're doing this, right? So, what do you think, gentlemen, is the proper response, if any response, to the whole polite situation?
Lord,
let's go there. Let's go there.
Oh man, I'm gonna let you hit that one first, MJ. I got a couple things I'm
just sitting back. I'm sitting back and I'm letting it play out.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm letting it play out now.
Okay, hold this out real quick. So for those who are uninitiated, I'm gonna borrow a turn of phrase from BK. For those who are not in the know right now, real quick, give me the 60-second rundown of who Polite is and Brother Polite is and what's going on. All right, go ahead, and then MJ, go ahead after that, please.
Oh, me? Well,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Well, Brother Polite is well known within what's called the Kemetic community or the conscious community, the woke people, if you will. And he's definitely one of the more high profile individuals within the conscious community. He's well known for his denouncements of Christianity. He has a video where he actually goes to a shooting range and shoots up the Bible and then calls it a holy Bible after the fact, right? So he's created a platform on disparaging Christianity and Christians, among other things. So he has elevated, and he's also evolved into some kind of like conscious guru of sorts. And he's within entertainment circles now. And he's doing his thing now. Whether or not, like, how successful he has been in this, we don't know. But there seems like he is with Mayweather. Like, we can't deny that he's been.
Well, I mean, he had the drip on Instagram though. I mean, he's rocking around Rolls Royce, whether they're rented or bought, who knows? But regardless,
right?
He's doing this thing. I can't afford to rent one, so
right. And he comes from the Nubian belief system. At one point, he was a follower of Malachi York. He left that, started his own thing, became the celebrity spiritual guru of sorts. So recently he's been arrested for allegedly sexually assaulting a 14-year-old. I think it happened somewhere in Florida, and he's out on bail, and we're awaiting his time in court. So that's what's happening.
All right. Okay. Yes. So that's the short version. All right, MJ, go ahead with your response, sir.
I think that we need to let him have his day in court. That's my whole thing. Now, I mean, if it is true, I mean, the man is not saved. He's not full of the Holy Spirit. He lives a polygamous lifestyle. He lives a very loose lifestyle. So, but at the same time, he's a citizen of the USA. He needs to have his day in court. And that's where I'm at. I'm not gonna, say too much about it until they say he's guilty.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't see it. It's one thing what we saw with Derek Chauvin. You know what I'm saying? We kind of all saw it. And it's another thing with things like this. You just have to kind of let it play out. And I mean, hey, this is some of the things that can happen.
Right.
Yeah. I would say this, man. My concern with Brother Polite. Let's just say that there was no assault. Let's just say that, right? Now, here's the thing. This young lady's mother let her go. Now, the girl's 14 years old, right? This young lady's mother let her go with a grown man to an after party. Let that sink in. Let that sink in for a minute. Whether or not there was any kind of assault that happened, how, as a parent, I need answers right now.
Well, to that point, right, and that's why we have to be careful before we, well, none of us are casting judgment, but there are conflicting historical things about this. So there is a story in which the mother did not know that that's what he did. That supposedly they had a group of friends who were supposed to eat in the hotel downstairs, and she was still getting ready. And he
No,
said, "Well, let me just take her downstairs," and
no,
and then from there he went and took her to the club.
no, no, no,
That's another story. That's
no,
just I'm just
no,
saying.
no,
I'm just putting
no.
it out there.
Mr. Green has my response here. No, 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 no,
That's
no.
what I'm just
You,
saying.
you don't let. I don't care who you are. You are not going to nobody's club at 14 years old. You are not going to nobody's VIP section. Oh my God, I'm going to meet 50 Cent. No, no, you're not.
Right.
No, you're not. You can go to the concert, maybe. You know what I'm saying? If you did your homework, you know, but you're not going down to nobody's hotel room. You're not going any place with some dude. And I think like when we talk about what we do know, right?
Right.
Like as far as like you mentioned Malachi York, he's in prison right now, right?
Right. For
For
similar stuff.
okay,
A bunch of counts
and
of it. Many
yes,
counts. Yeah.
many counts. He ain't coming out
Ever.
like ever, right? And what happens with a lot of people, right? And so well, even still, Shadi's saying a couple of things here. I'm gonna get to it in just a second, Shadi. But yeah, this is the kind of thing that bothers me, that a lot of people, and whether or not this particular situation is accurate, I'm going to kind of take Brother Plight out of the situation because we just don't know at the moment, right?
Right.
But there is a, and I mentioned this in the it's on someone's page earlier this week, but like people like Warren Jeffs, Malachi York, any number of people in these like these fundamental
Nature Boy.
right, you know, they're having access, like unfiltered access to these people's kids, you know. Like I don't know very many religious cults that sooner or later somebody is going to end up messing with somebody's child.
Right.
David Koresh,
Right.
all these people, sooner or later, they want your kids, they want your wife, they want your whatever. And these people are so messed up in the head behind them that they're going to let them have access to their children. And I'm like, I do not understand that. I know that there's some kind of component to that needs to be addressed, you know, for, you know, probably health and well-being as to why people get involved in cults in the first place or whatever. But man, this doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Like, you know, and Sister Shadi had mentioned, I'm going to kind of pull it up in your thing in order here. Says to throw a little bit of info in here. It stated that she didn't allow her to go to the after party, but they're going downstairs to eat, and he took her to the party. Right. So if that's the case, let's just say that happened, right? And nothing sexual happened. Let's just say that. What world do you live in as a grown man, right? Are you thinking it's a good idea to take a 14-year-old girl to an after party? For what exactly? Like I don't even like, you know, like I want to take my nieces and nephews or places, whatever the case is, because we're blood relatives, right? But I'm not going to take them to a party at 14 years old, because that could happen. Let's just say it wasn't polite. Someone else could have taken advantage of this girl. She's a little girl. Like, this doesn't make any sense to anybody. Like, holler at me in the chat, man. Tell me what y'all think, bro. Anyone else got any
Yeah, I mean, I feel
yeah.
like as believers, right, when we see stuff like this, the temptation is to be somewhat celebratory, because we know how much, you know, he has crapped on Christianity for years.
Right.
He's created a cottage industry going at our worldview. But as per what MJ also said, he because he is a citizen of this nation, he deserves his due process.
Right.
Right? He needs to go to court and defend himself. He is innocent until proven guilty, and we need to allow the process to work. Now, with that being said, I understand as black and brown men, the judicial system is not the most fair. So
Yeah.
I'll give you that as well. But even with all that, we just need to not, we gotta allow this to play out, like MJ said. Allow the court decide. Let's get the evidence. Let's get the actual stories. Let him be judged by his peers, and then if he's found guilty, we all condemn him. But at the
Right.
same time, as we condemn him, we need to hope that this is the moment where he finally does go rock bottom and he realizes his need for God.
That's it. That's it. And at the end of the
Right.
day, right? At the end of the day, that's what the goal is, and that's why we even have these conversations with people like with Sonetter and Polite and all them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only reason why we're doing this. People need to hear the gospel and be saved, right? So I mean, like at the end of the day, that's what we're looking for. Anybody wanting to see another man going down, but at the same time, you cannot take a 14-year-old girl, whether you mean to or not, right? You're not going to put yourself in a compromising position like that at all. And if you have sexual attraction to a 14-year-old girl, you need to get help.
Well, I mean, he bangs on the Bible for Mary being young. I think
good point.
So,
and here we are, allegedly.
And here
right?
we are.
I hope
allegedly,
it's not
allegedly.
Allegedly. Let's not get sued for libel here.
Right.
All right.
And by no means I don't want people thinking I'm defending this dude, because on my channel I refute him. D New eviscerated him. Like we go at Polite on a regular basis.
D-New, that was amazing.
Right. The sniper gave him headshot. Pow. You know what I mean? So it's not like we're rocking with this dude by no means. Don't get it twisted. But as believers, right, we can't celebrate someone's demise. If anything, we're hoping that this humbles him so that he can turn to Christ. And let's not forget about the girl in question. Because whether or not this actually occurred, the fact that all this attention is put on her isn't healthy for her either.
No, not in a little.
This affects her in a negative way, no matter how this turns out.
Great.
Right. So we got to be, thinking about that as well. So.
Yep. Absolutely. And so prayers for her and her parents, her mom, and if the dad's in the picture, even, you know what I'm saying, bro. I don't even know if I should be saying this on YouTube, but y'all know how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, they would have to make sure that that's my girl or my son. Okay.
Can I show my gun? Can I show my gun?
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. No, you cannot.
Listen,
this dude. Neither one of you.
Son,
Don't even think about it.
It's not a joke.
I was talking to a friend about how to collect money earlier today. I said, "You just set it right here on the table."
Just like Jesus, just like the Lord.
And once again,
man.
Oh Lord, Jesus.
Yeah, Doc.
Welcome
this
to
is
CMB's first and last late night stream.
Right. We'll try again, but no MJ.
There you go.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. Like I believe in protecting children. My children, especially those babies in this house. My wife. These are God's gifts. And I will do whatever I can. To protect my children. You know what I'm saying? And like I know vengeance is the Lord's, but y'all need to pray for
Carly
me.
Haley.
If that happens, you might see me on the news that way.
Carl Lee Haley. Go look him up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But we again, right? We have to check our feelings at the door, because I've seen a lot of YouTube videos where people are really celebrating the fact that this man was arrested for this, and it's like there's nothing to be happy about here.
No.
Whether it's true or not, it's just not. It's no. There's nothing to be. As a believer, we can't be. And yes, I get it. He goes against Christianity. He goes against Jesus. Yes, but even what did Jesus do when he was on that cross? He asked God Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they're doing. He's literally on the cross dying from these
Right.
people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But
And if we're disciples of Christ,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like, we have to follow that example. So
Right, and I'll say this as an apologist, and this is not any means of like dumping on anyone, but you have to understand this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Okay, um, there are we live in a post-truth society, right? People who say what they want to say. Oh, that's my truth, or you know what I mean. I don't have to listen to you.
right.
I'm living my best life. I ain't getting involved and going back and forth with y'all. Whatever, you know the whole thing, right? And that's how people are living their lives. However, there are real world consequences for your worldview.
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Green, I believe, said earlier, I want to say Mr. Green said something about worldviews and consistency.
Mm-hmm.
If we're consistent and you want to hold to an atheistic worldview, what allegedly happened with this young lady is not wrong,
Facts.
objectively speaking.
Facts.
If you hold to an atheistic worldview, you cannot ground this morally objectively. Now, here's the thing. All of us on this panel, all of y'all in the chat, anybody listening to this in next week, next month, next year, or whatever the case is, knows that if what allegedly happened actually happened, it's wrong. Period, point blank, end of story. And if that's the case, then you need to check your worldview because it can't hold up to reality here. Right? I know, his name is Mud now, but Ravi Zacharias asked a question to a guy that said, well, what's so wrong with an atheistic worldview? And he said, do you lock your doors at night?
Yeah.
Okay. Simple question. Do you lock your doors at night? Yeah, we lock our doors at night. Brother MJ, myself, we are proud proponents of the Second Amendment. So come run up if you want. I don't recommend it. The door is locked for your protection.
You're about to meet Jesus. You about to find out if mythicism is true or not.
Right.
Wow.
But all jokes aside, there are real world consequences for this thing, and God forbid this actually happen. But my goodness, if that's the case, then you need to realize that what he is thinking in his head, if this is the case, is actually true. He doesn't see anything wrong with that. And you need to be concerned if you're following this guy on social media. If you're saying, yeah, that's my king, he all right, blah, blah, blah. These Christians don't know what they're talking about. Okay.
But hold up. If it is true, he does think something wrong with it because he banged on the Bible, which makes it even more twisted if it is true.
This is problematic on many levels. You hear me? Right?
Unless he's ready to become a part of GMS.
Wow.
And even still, right.
But what's funny, right? You bring that up, right? Because that's that famous video clip where he's going at GMS about how
the Holy Spirit, you let him.
Right.
You let him.
And he's jumping out the chair. Come on, man. No, sir.
No, you let him, won't you? Won't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look at Brother Polite in GMS and you see what we're talking about.
Goodness.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
A sudden turn of events.
What is the name of the GMS leader?
Tahar.
He is he's something else, man. He's something else.
As
Brother, won't you?
Yeah. It's a mess, and Shadi, I think you're 100% correct, sis. The trauma, it is not fun. I've told my story before, as well too. So I was victimized when I was younger, and that's one of those things that you don't get over, very easily, and you need to kind of work your way through it with psychological help. You need to work your way through it through the Holy Spirit to help you with the anger, the shame, the embarrassment, all that stuff there, and forgiving yourself, it's a problem. And so I thank God that he's helped me through all my woes here, growing up. And that's one of those things that you never ever want to be a person who's in the perpetrator role or the victim role. So God has to really do a work on these people's hearts. And at the end of the day, man, it's not about going to parties and meeting celebrities and living your best life and pretending like you live in a rap video, and you driving fancy cars and it used to be sardines for dinner. Can we drink champagne when we thirsty? All that stuff is not that at all. It is truly living your best life in Christ, and hearing from Him, and being at peace with the Lord. There's another. There we go. Another comment here. She said, "Oh, everything we just saw that." Yeah. So I mean, but that's one of those things, man. We have to recognize that, And this young lady, she is truly a child. Yeah, absolutely, Shani. Yep. So yeah, he will. This is a problem. So, but yeah, this has been good, man. Let's see. Anything else I want to hit? Any topics out there before we wrap it up? An hour went by fast, didn't it? Good.
That was fun. We got to do some more sports themes, late night talks.
Yeah. All right, fellas, man. Yo, this has been good, man. I've been enjoying myself too. I've been appreciating y'all. Yes, Mr. Apologist in Detroit. I know he hadn't been on in a minute. I didn't acknowledge him when he had to dip out. But yeah, he had to step out for a quick minute. So I thank him for popping in early as well too, MJ. What's going on with you in the near future, brother?
Well, there's been quite a bit of Black atheism activity going on Mr. Sinetta's channel.
Yes.
And so I'm gonna be teaming up with Mr. True ID himself, brother Adam Coleman.
Oh, watch out now.
On Thursday. I don't have the exact time because sometimes Eastern Standard Time gets me. But we'll be putting it out. But it's gonna be on Thursday. We'll be dealing with Sebastian, the Black atheist. I mean, he's a nice guy, but he said quite a few things that needs to be addressed. But like I said, because Sinetta has been he's been pushing his audience more and more closer to atheism. With a real Black atheist, please stand up is what he's been kind of calling these shows. And I think Adam and myself are also going to come back on my channel maybe in a few weeks after this to address Mandisa.
Yeah.
When she was and once again, here's my train of thought, right? Yeah, and we gotta address it, but it's harder to address the bizarre type arguments that are more, you got to work a little bit harder to find the material to address it and things like that. And when you move toward mainstream, it's really not that hard of a target to address. And I'm being humble. I'm just saying we got all the mainstream material already written on. You know what I'm saying? Reason why we had a first urban apologetics book of its kind was because people were not writing on it. But if you're going to push your audience closer to mainstream atheism, good luck with it. And we'll be more than happy to address you in the name of Jesus the Messiah. And we'll also take pleasure in it. So me and Adam are going to be doing that on Thursday, probably a few weeks later, coming back to my channel to address Miss Mandisa with her atheism as well. So that's what's coming up next. And I'm just cruising along. Hopefully I get my diploma at the end of August.
Yes,
and like
sir.
I said, I've been talking to you and some of the other fellas about whether or not to go ahead and go after the PhD. So we'll see.
Wait, listen, I'm gonna just say it here first. I think Dr. MJ Jackson has a beautiful ring to it. Go for it, my man. We want to see you go higher, bro. So God bless you, man. I appreciate you, man. You are an inspiration to me. I'm trying to get my my library game trying to get up to MJ's level. Good dreams can be had here. What about you, BK? What's coming up next on the docket for you, bro?
Nothing right now. I might be taking a small hiatus. There's some things I'm gonna have to participate in outside the realm of the interwebs.
Yes.
And but it's all good. It's all good stuff. And so we will see. I might still have the bodega thing happening. but there might be a slight hiatus, you know. So you know, there's some needs that need to be met, and
Yeah.
you know, as a Christian, I kind of have to do that. So
Big facts.
yeah.
All right, all right, all right. And again, for me, I'll be popping in and out. I've been doing some different things lately. Back to Bible Basics season 2 is actually ready to go. It's been ready to go since I left in the spring. I promise it has been. But some things kind of have to change gears a little bit. I have a couple projects in the works here. And some of y'all at the beginning of the show saw Keisha B. Again, you will see her probably a little bit more of her in the future. We're working on a couple things behind the scenes as well too, so that may be coming up in the meantime. Also, Clubhouse, you know, been on Clubhouse a little bit as well too, so please find me there. And yeah, so we'll be going back and forth. I'm working on a couple of shows as well. Sometimes, like, you know, a lot of folks. And here she goes. What's up? Yeah, looking forward to Bible Basics. Yeah, yeah. Keep that in prayer because, like I said, I want to release it, but I don't feel like I need to just quite yet. There's a couple more things, but I do want to do another shameless plug. Coming up September 1st, being released September 1st, Hiding in Plain Sight, a book by Elsie EJ Thunder Lauriston. It is available for pre-order right now on Amazon.com. The Kindle version is ready now. The print version will be ready, I think, in a couple of days as well too. So if you want, you know, get both. Stop playing around, get both. All right.
This is second book, right?
No, this is his third book.
Third.
So
Okay.
EJ had his first book was called All Foods Are Clean and Every Day is a Sabbath. The other book that he had was 16 Things You Need to Know. The Sabbath, Everything You Need to Know. So he goes over 16 different propositions about the biblical Sabbath. And this is his third book, which is the first. Hiding in Plain Sight is the first of 3 volumes. Okay, so and I had a privilege to get a hold of the manuscript early in the editing process. Listen, listen, you need to get this book, okay? And you know how we do our best to in the crew, where we try to do our best to not misrepresent anybody. So we want to avoid the straw man fallacy, the straw man argument. Shout out to Wawo, Warrior Woman, our beautiful sister down under. Love you, my dear. Good to see you. And when I say this man steel mans the arguments and then dismantles them, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm not just saying that because he's my boy. I'm saying that because it's the truth. All right. So just God bless him in this endeavor. So please get yourself a copy. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Get a couple copies if you can. You know, they're not super expensive. The Kindle copies, I think it's under $10. So it's definitely worth that. I'd pay double for that or even triple for that. I'm telling you, it is that good. So please feel free to do that and support Brother Lauriston. So with that said, I think that's it for now, guys. Yeah, man. But I want to just thank you all for joining in, especially on such late notice. I gave y'all like 10 minutes notice, and we just popped in. It's been a quiet week in the urban apologetics community, man. Saturday night was kind of quiet, man. I'm like, yo, I'm getting in here. I'm bored. Let's go. So that's what we're gonna do, man. So that said, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all with the love of Christ, even if I disagree with y'all. So right now is Mr. MJ Jackson, Dr. MJ Jackson, the BK apologist, and
one day.
Yeah, right. One day soon, right? Yeah. And we out tonight. Love y'all. Catch y'all later. Peace, y'all.